Chapter 5. Dinner is served. The evening of the hospital dinner is finally here. Natasha and Gina are at your place to help you get ready. I don't know if I can do this. It's dinner, Fiona. How bad can it be? It's my first Liberty Heights dinner since my divorce, and my ex-husband and my Carter will both be there. I was going to ask, what is Carter to you, now that you two are going to keep seeing each other? Like, is it too early to say boyfriend, or is this where we're not putting labels on it kind of thing? I can't even think about that right now. Less fourth degree, more pep talks, please. Or I may ditch this thing and get to know the tub of strawberry cheesecake ice cream in my freezer. Well, you can always go and enjoy some strawberry cheesecake goodness afterwards. I'm just glad you decided to go out with Carter again, Fiona. I haven't seen you smile like this in a long time. This guy is good for you. But you will have to be careful tonight. I don't want anyone to catch on and stir up some drama if they suspect you and Carter are whatever you are. Well, be careful. No one will know. Natasha gives her shoulder a quick squeeze. I know you can pull it off. Boo. Worry less about pulling it off and more about having fun. I'm trying not to blow up my social life any more than this divorce already has. I have to worry about what people think. Gina sighs and nods. Okay, I'm just sorry. Just while you're not being careful and about your hot new thing, don't forget how much good you have going on. I won't, I promise. Gina finishes putting together shine-resistant powder on your nose when steps back to survey her handiwork. And remember, this isn't just about your Carter situation. There is a chance to show the Bevs of the world that you're thriving post-divorce. You seriously are glowing. I'm going to need you to share your new skincare routine lately. Oh, thanks. I do love my vitamin C serum. And I don't feel like I'm doing that great. I've just been sort of drifting these past few weeks. And all I have going on is a situationship I can't talk about. Natasha squeezes your hand. Hey, that's okay. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Just go out with a decades-old marriage and anyone would feel adrift. Exactly. Be good to yourself, Fiona. And if anyone gives you grief over the divorce, remember number 11 on the list. Shut down a hater. Gina's right. You've handled the divorce as civilly as anyone could have, and you don't deserve any flack for that, okay? Okay, thanks. My head knows all of that, but sometimes it's easy for my heart to forget. Well, we'll remind you as many times as you need us to. And if you really need to shut down the naysayers, it can't hurt to wear something that'll leave everyone's jaws on the floor. Natasha holds out an elegant but stunning dress, and when you think about Carter seeing you in it, you can't help but smile. And we're not giving an alternative to this dress. Keep that in mind. So it's either get the fine wine, which, by the way, is very pretty, or, who knows, I guess we'll wear what we're already wearing, I don't know. Let me know. How do I look? You try it on and do a little twirl to cheers from your friends. You're gorgeous. Good enough to eat. Whoa there, I thought we were friends. Maybe if you're lucky, Carter will... thank you both. Natasha and Gina pull you into a tight hug. You've got this. Whatever happens tonight, it's just dinner. It's never just dinner. When you arrive at the event space, you're wowed by how all your hard work has turned out. Everything looks great. I just have to head in by myself. Anxiety sets in as you glance around the packed room, but you do your best to smile as you pass familiar people. Hi, Valerie. Everything looks fantastic. Oh, speak for yourself. You look fantastic. She gives you an elegant dress and approving nod. What? This little thing? It's nothing. Please, you look great tonight, and you deserve to. Encourage her to give Valerie one more smile and then keep waving through the crowd towards your table. I can do this. Just avoid Seb, play it cool with Carter, get to this dinner, just... Hi, Fiona. Sydney looks up at you from a seat across your table, which is great. Just great. Crap. I finalized the seating before Sid subbed in as a speaker, and the other staff must have put him in Yejin's spot. Sid! It's nice to see you. You give Sid a polite smile, trying not to make this any weirder than it has to be. You too. Great turnout tonight, and this place looks, nice. Valerie gets all the credit for the decor. She did great. Yes, but it's nice to see that some people are invested in this place. Listen, lady, she married into, him, not the little hospital. Shut up. You suppress a sigh as Bev settles into one of the other chairs at the table, along with a few other Liberty Heights regulars that you know. You slide into your own seat, glancing around for any sight of another familiar face. I hope Carter's here somewhere. If I could just see him, I'd feel... Got room for one more? Valerie told me this was my table. You try not to let your mouth hang open as Carter slides into the seat beside you, giving you a friendly smile. Are the seating chart gods trying to torture me? Carter, glad you could make it. Wouldn't have missed the welcome dinner for the world. Hi, Sid. Hi, Fiona. Hi. His gaze briefly flicks over your dress, but he keeps his voice perfectly polite. That dress is nice, by the way. Thank you. Someone taps Sid on the shoulder, and when he turns around in his chair to speak to them, Carter gives you a slightly longer, admiring look. Seeing him is a relief, but sharing a table with him and Sid... This is way more than I bargained for. Why did Sid have to volunteer as speaker? But there's nothing you can do about it now, so as dinner is served, you try to make small talk with the other guests at their table. So, Katie, how's your son? Still on the baseball team? He is made honor roll again, last semester too. As Katie digs into her food, you catch the eye of Grant, one of the residents whose photo you saw while organizing the dinner. You resist the constant urge to glance over at Carter and instead turn to Grant. Welcome to Liberty Heights, Grant. I'm sure you'll enjoy your time here. Thanks so much. I've been looking forward to this dinner. Glad to hear it. I did a little work on the planning, so I hope it's a fun evening. Fiona's being modest. She did more than a little work on this dinner. Oh, you two know each other. Nervousness swashes through you, but thankfully Carter just gives a simple nod. I've been helping with some of the dinner feed details. I just started here last year, so who better to talk about new residents need, right? Actually, I introduced the two of them. Fiona was in my office, and Carter... While Sid relays the story of how you and Carter met to Grant, Katie turns to Carter with a smile. So, no +1 for you tonight. I would have thought our star resident would come with someone special. Carter doesn't miss a beat. You're nearly startled in your seat, almost choking on your salad. Nope, just me. Residency doesn't leave a lot of time for dating. Everything all right, Fiona? Every single person at your table turns to look at you, and you feel your face heat up. Oh, it's a piece of kale. Sorry, I don't... It's a big piece. Yep, I thought there was a bug on my leg. Oh, it was nothing. My skirt moved. Kind of funny on my thigh. It makes everyone laugh, and you blow out a breath of relief. At least they don't know what really made you jump. It seems like a cry for attention, if you ask me. How tall is this building so I can shove you off the roof? You turn away from the passive-aggressive Bev, as another doctor you've known for years addresses you with a smile. So, lots of big changes lately, Fiona. How have you been keeping busy these days? The question is cordial, but you still freeze, trying to think of the right thing to say in front of your ex's friends and colleagues. I've been, looking into dating apps. Oh god, no. Let's just trying to figure that out. Having this much free time on my hands is a big change. I'm trying to decide how I want to spend it. Ah, have free time again. I miss those days. Holt gives you a polite smile as an awkward silence stretches over the table. What was I supposed to say? Who gives a shit? None of your goddamn business. Mind your own business! Once you've figured out what speaks to you, you'll have to fill us in, Fiona. I'm sure you'll get up to something exciting. You flash him a grateful smile, glad he's helping the conversation along, but the relief is short-lived. It must be so interesting to be a late bloomer in life. I'm sorry, a what now? Right, I can't imagine. I've known what I wanted to do from the moment I started, playing with Fisher-Price stethoscopes. And what have you been up to, Sid? Yes, do tell. I feel like I only ever see the back of your head as you're hurrying down the halls to another patient. Life's been busy, that's for sure. I've been sleeping here a few nights a week because I don't want to waste time walking to the train. Oh, tell me about it. That's half of the week. They like having no work-life balance is good for you. Like, because all Sid does is work. He's winning. Yeah, pretty much, yeah, no, those people are losers. I used to be one of them, so I'm allowed to say that. Anyway, maybe it's the indignation of being glossed over or the self-satisfied look on Sid's face, but you push back your shoulders and speak up. There is actually one thing I've been spending my bounty of free time on. I've been thinking of starting a small business. Remembering that bakery and you and Carter explored the other night, you go on. I've been looking at some spaces to lease. Wow. Catch Carter grinning as the others blink at you in surprise. You're... what? Yeah, kiss my ass. Listen, I have no filter. Leave me alone. No, I do, but I let it off 1% during this. That's right. That sounds like fun. Mixing business and fun sounds interesting. You haven't run a business before, right? Nope, but I'm a quick study. That's cool. Good for... It sounds like an awfully big risk. Oh, it's too bad you're not my husband anymore. His brow is furrowed with a skeptical look you know too well. Any enthusiasm for the other suddenly vanishes. Only Carter speaks up. I don't think it's that... risky and inappropriate, in my opinion. Listen, woman, shut the I've hated this woman every single day of my life ever since she's been introduced to this app, and I'm seriously still hating her now. For someone who's newly divorced, you seem awfully together, Fiona, like you moved on rather fast. What business is it to you? Sid goes quiet, and you feel a white-hot surge of anger. It's easy for Sid's colleagues to judge me when they don't know the first thing about what a marriage was like. Beside you, Carter shifts in his seat, jaw tensing. You can tell he's restraining himself from leaping to your defense. Yep, nope, down boy. He can't say anything without people wondering why he cares so much, but I could. Maybe it's time to check off number 11. Listen, can we grab her by the head and slam her face into the table, too? That'd be really great. Or no. Okay. Let them know they're out of line. Don't smile at me. You should be really grumpy when I know that choice. Brimming with indignation, you do what you rarely let yourself do with Sid. You put all the anger you're feeling into words. You might not realize this, but you just said that out loud. Yes, and I meant it. Then, who do you think you are, that you get to judge me? I've seen you maybe once a week for the past 4 years, Bev. Doesn't make you an expert on my life. You hold up a hand to cut her off. I wasn't finished. Bev? Sid and I handled ourselves like adults out of the respect for each other. Would you rather I'd thrown all Sid's books out on the lawn, taken him to the cleaners and the divorce? Would that have been more appropriate? Oh, please, I'm sure you did. You're the office gossip. You'd know if I'd taken Sid for everything he's worth. She didn't. I can't confirm that. Sydney's words are quiet, but they still echo over your table. Bev only scoffs. That still doesn't make this right. You're just being inconsiderate of Sid's feelings by being so chipper. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the memo where people aren't allowed to smile after being divorced. And who do you think you arranged this entire dinner as a favor to my ex? I'd call that pretty considerate. I saw Valerie coming with you with the seating arrangements. You clearly just... Fiona did arrange the dinner. Bev, Valerie just consulted on him. You arch an eyebrow at Bev and stare right into her eyes.
Okay, you did one thing for Dr. Wharton. Big deal. It's not like you planned this dinner alone.
I never said I did. But you work here and did nothing.
I'm quite busy at my job. I think I do enough around here without planning dinners.
Oh, whatever you have to tell yourself, Bab. You know who's also busy?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Oh, I am. It's Valerie. She just is as busy, if not busier than you, and she still stepped in to plan. Carter sits up straighter beside you, chiming in with a heat you've never heard in his voice before. I worked with Fiona on this dinner, too. She went the extra mile for a night that literally isn't about her. And I've gotta say, I didn't think Liberty Heights was a place where we tear guests down for no reason. Yes, this has all been, dare I say, disruptive. Exactly. Tonight is supposed to be about showing our new residents the community we have here. He gives an apologetic nod to Grant before turning back to Bev. And you've turned it into an argument about a personal lives of an employee and someone trying to do right by her staff. I thought we were all better than that, but maybe I was wrong. Bev sputters, her cheeks begin turning a shade of red that you didn't know was possible.
I had my tongue long enough. I had to say something.
Bitch, you didn't have to say a goddamn thing. Now sit your ass down, lower at the kid's stable. No, you didn't. My marriage, my ex, my life are none of your business. You didn't have to say anything.
So now it's my fault for voicing a concern.
Not your concern to voice. Yes. You literally started this. And you know what? I could maybe accept that you were worried about Sid. You've known him for a long time. And you could have pulled me aside at any point and asked to talk to me about my concerns for his feelings. If you'd done that, we might have been able to have a productive conversation.
I didn't think about that.
Because you don't think at all. You're one of those Karens. They're slowly a dying race. I know, because you're not really worried about Sid here. You wanted to get back at me to start some drama. And I hope you understand that I'm not going to sit here and take it. And you shouldn't have to. Carter's right. This has all crossed a line, Bev.
I
hope you dropped dead of a heart attack. What? Listen, she won't drop dead, she'll just drop, because, you know, we're all doctors here. Anyway, Bev's mouth opens and closes. She tries to think of something to say back, but she's got nothing. You've eviscerated her.
Excuse me.
Bye! Bev shoves back her chair and leaves the table in a hurry. You take another breath, try to slow your pulse as adrenaline pumps through your body. I'm sorry, Fiona. Even before Bev stuck her foot in her mouth, we were being nosy. Your personal life is none of our business. I'm glad to see you and Sid are able to get along. That's all that matters here. Thank you. My apologies too, Fiona. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you. Bev wasn't the only one out of line, but I'm willing to put it behind us. Katie and Dr. Holt exchange a look, and Holt laughs nervously. It's very big of you. More than I deserve, I'm sure. It is. But someone here has to take the high road. Eventually, that was never going to be Bev. Everyone finally gets back to their food and under the table. Carter gives your leg an encouraging squeeze. The touch sends a thrill through you that lingers even as your adrenaline continues to fade. Tom, have you heard about the new equipment we're getting in the Western Surgery Suite? There's this camera with absurd resolution. Oh, you know I love talking specs. Go on. Grant, has anyone ever onboarded you with your EMR yet? We changed record systems last year. This one has been so much better. Hey, if it actually saves my notes, I'll be happy. As the others get into a lively conversation about hospital tech and systems, Carter finds a moment to lean over and murmur in your ear. I'm glad you gave Bev a piece of your mind. Way to make the most of number 11. What did you do, memorize all the things on my list? Yes. He's just like me. I'm trying to. Shut down, hater. Ba-ding! Hey, you hater. Zero. You stood up above. As dinner is cleared away and dessert is served, Sid is called up to the stage to make a speech. Now that we've all filled our bellies, I'd like to invite a special speaker up to the stage. Please welcome Dr. Sidney Warren. Looks like that's my cue. Sid heads over to the stage to join Valerie, while others at your table trickle away to greet other friends and colleagues. And for the first time that night, you find yourself almost alone with Carter. You lower your voice to a murmur that only he can hear. It's about time we got a bit of a breather. We needed it. Squeeze his knee. You don't want anyone to notice if you're sitting too close to him, so you reach over and touch his knee. He smiles, but is careful to not quite direct it at you as he whispers in reply. It's hard to be this close to you and barely be able to touch you. I know. Sid's voice rises over the crowd, and you turn your attention to the stage as he begins his speech. We have the highest standards for integrity and honesty at this hospital. When you work together day in, day out, making calls that will change patients' lives, it's important that we trust each other completely. You shift uncomfortably in your seat, thinking of the lie you're carrying on with Carter. It's not really a lie, it's none of anyone's goddamn business. But it's not like I'm hurting anyone. What two adults do in their free time shouldn't be anyone else's business. Thank you. So it's not a lie. As Sid's speech goes on, a server sets a tray of desserts on the table. Tarts, cookies, small slices of cake. Carter catches your eye with a teasing glance. Wow, look at these options. Someone with an eye for sweets must have arranged tonight's desserts. You're tempted to reach out and rest your hand on top of his, on the table, but remembering where you are, you tamp the urge down. I do have a bit of a sweet tooth, but I also happen to do a little baking on the side. Oh, do you now? He effortlessly keeps up the act, pretending all of this info is completely new. Yep. I like getting my hands dirty. Keep your voice low so it won't carry to any other nearby guests, but you allow yourself to shoot him a brief, coy glance. In the kitchen, of course. Of course. It's fun to let go and get messy sometimes. He smiles and you remember the closeness of baking alongside him in the kitchen. How much his praise warmed you. He bites his lower lip and it takes a bit of effort to tear his gaze away from you so no passerbyers will notice him staring. Amen to that. But before you can enjoy your relative privacy too much, a young woman comes over waving to Carter. Hi, I'm Rachel, one of the new residents. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Carter Dawson. Sorry to interrupt your dessert, but someone told me you were one of the surgeons. Do you mind if I ask about your experience here? You're not interrupting. I'm always happy to talk up Liberty Heights. What's on your mind? I've heard the hours aren't too bad, but I won't lie. Imposter syndrome is hitting me hard. So how's the mentorship here? Am I gonna have to dive into the deep end and swim, or... Swim in the deep end, yes, but don't worry. You won't be doing it alone. We've got some great people here running the program, and me and the other senior residents are here to help keep you sane. Just stick close to this guy. He'll help ease your any bumps in the road. No problem. Rachel heaves a sigh of relief and gives you both a grateful smile. Thanks, I will. As she bustles away, leaving the two of you alone once more, Carter glances you with a small smile. You really hyped me up for someone who's barely seen me work. For all you know, I could be a terrible mentor. You could be, but you aren't. I'd bet on that any day. He laughs. His next words are so quiet that you barely hear them, but there's this light shift in his voice that makes your knees go weak. God, I wish I could kiss you right now. Especially with you in that dress. You look so tempting all night. Your cheeks heat up, and a pleasant tingle courses through your body. I wish we could kiss too. It feels like so long since we got to. Way too long. But you can't. The knowledge is tortuous and strangely tantalizing as you gaze in, knowing both of you are feeling the same magnetic pull. Then you spot Carter's slice of chocolate cake. An idea strikes you. Could I taste your dessert, Dr. Dawson? Just one bite. Be my guest. He hands you his fork, which means your fingers brush against his. When you slice into the rich cake, you make sure to get a piece that he's touched too. So, when you lift it to your lips, it almost feels like yours are touching his. Interesting mentality about it. I've never actually thought about it that way. Delicious. It's as subtle as intimacy goes, but it all still fills you with a heady thrill as he smiles at you. The cake's not the only thing. You go in for another bite, then Carter abruptly straightens, turning to another one of the desserts as Valerie walks up to you. I don't know what you told Rachel, but she's looking way more confident than she did 10 minutes ago. Good looking out, Carter. Thanks. I remember the jitters on my first day of residency, so just doing what I can to help. Utterly aware of what just passed between you, Valerie pats Carter on the shoulder and turns away. You exhale, relieved. Unless she's just playing it off. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. Just sorry she interrupted. I think you were about to enjoy another bite of... You hear a small round of applause and glance over to see that on stage Sid is finishing his speech. Does he have to? Be a shame if he tripped and fell. What? Let's give one last warm welcome to our new residents. I hope your work here is everything you dreamed that being a doctor would be. While everyone claps and whistles, Carter lets out a frustrated groan. I guess he'll be back at our table any minute. Carter arches an eyebrow meaningfully as he glances towards the exit. If Sid weren't on his way, I'd meet you in the coat closet outside in a heartbeat. He glanced toward the closet and the question, well away from the bustle of guests, and then you spot a familiar face in the crowd. Chatty Donor. Winifred loves talking Sid's ear off. If I push her in Sid's direction, I bet I could buy us 15 minutes in that closet. I know most of you want to go, yes, it's 8 minutes longer than 7 minutes in heaven, but we all know where it would lead. Anyway, I wish we could, but we can't take too many risks here. You're right. But I'll say just descending the stage, Carter takes a second to rest his hand on your thigh. Guess I'll just have to think about what we could have gotten up to. He briefly slides his hand up a little higher, stealing a moment of contact while the two of you can, and then you have to suppress a thrill it inspires. That sounds like a great use of your imagination. As Sid winds his way through the crowd towards your table, you can't help but letting out a sigh. Carter suddenly nudges you. Hey, you okay? Oh, sure, I'm just dying to sit through more people congratulating Sid on his shining achievements, while I've got none to speak of. That was the story of our marriage. I believe you, but that doesn't mean it's still true now. You're smart, talented, you have ambitions, you deserve to prove them all wrong. It feels like that isn't enough. What's the use of talent and ambition if I don't have anything to show for them? If that's how you feel, then it can't hurt to listen to what your ambitions are telling you. What do you want to be doing, Fiona? No matter what anyone else in the room thinks. Carter hastily turns back to his food as Sid rejoins your table, but those words echo in your ear as other guests come back to shake Sid's hand. Great speech, Sid. Thanks, Francis. I'm always happy to speak to the new kids. Francis's eyes lands on you and he tilts his head as if he's trying to place you. You're Fiona, right? I'm sure I've seen you around. I'm sure you did. I used to be married to Sid. Ah, yes, that's it. Francis looks down at his drink and then back at you, clearly trying to think of something to say to keep engaging in polite conversation. So, what are you up to these days, now that you're not married to medicine? She's still figuring that out, I think. This immediate reply stings, but as you search for your own answer, it's suddenly obvious. The words tumble out of you in a rush. Actually, I'm opening my own bakery. Really? Wow. I had no idea you were an entrepreneur. Congrats, Fiona. Yes, that's... Congrats. As satisfying as the shock on his face is, the pride on Carter's is worth even more. And that was nice. So without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember that if you did enjoy, to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description. Plenty of ways to check out, ways to support the channel, whatnot. There's memberships, yada, yada, yada. Please consider... excuse me, checking those out. Especially if you enjoy the content that I do here, the voicing, the reading, etc. But aside from that, excuse me, sometimes reading so much takes that out of my throat. And today is no exception. So, with that being said, I thank each and every one of you that watches this, truly. You know, kind of like her dream of, you know, doing the bakery thing and whatnot. This was my kind of like legacy. But a lot of other things too wrapped into it. That's minor, in all honesty. I look at this channel and all the content that I've done and all the things that I've said and done, and I'm proud of every single thing. Seriously, you know, all the jokes and everything included, because I've never crossed any moral line or any ethics or any of that anyone can ever, no matter how the world turns tomorrow or whatnot, that anyone can ever say, hey, how dare you say that? And I'm proud of that, because a lot of creators on this planet, on this platform, pretty much have never, you know, a lot of them have uh-ohs, and things that, you know, a lot of us turn our nose up or kind of go, oh, well, that was a few years ago, let's move on past it. And I'm glad that I can never have one of those moments, because I never have and never will. I'm a person that just tries to be wholesome, keep the good vibes, make you all smile, laugh, and whatnot. And really, I hope I do a good job of that. But long story short is this is kind of like my bakery. But the difference is I look at it, not just the bakery, but I look at it as kind of like, if you've ever watched One Piece, this is our ship. Yeah, I may be the captain, but the captain isn't nothing without you, the crew, you know, the first mate, everything. And, you know, without it, you know, you can't sail a boat all by yourself, right? Especially to any distance worth, you know, speaking of. And yeah, you guys are not just the crew on the boat, you're the wind beneath the sails, you're everything, literally and figuratively. So you all truly mean a lot to me, and I can't stress that enough. Once again, thanks for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Catch you all later. Peace out.